Hello and welcome to the second part of this tutorial on using loops. In this demo, we'll focus on how to use the for each loop in UiPath Studio. The for each activity works by iterating through a list of items, one item at a time, and executing whatever actions are in the body of the activity. Let's see it in action. We encourage you to build along with this video. You'll find the input files needed in the lesson after the demo. Okay. We've got the following business scenario. The PDF files from a given folder must be renamed so that the file name ends with the current date. To solve this scenario, we'll create a workflow that asks us what folder we want to process, and then, for each file in the folder, saves the name to a variable. Next, adds the current date to the value and prints it in the output panel. Finally, changes the name of the file. Let's begin. We'll create a new sequence workflow. Name it Rename Invoices. And add an annotation. We'll add a Browse for Folder activity to let the user choose the folder to process, and add an annotation to it. This activity opens a dialog box prompting the user to select a folder and saves the folder path to a string variable. Let's create a variable for the output and rename it Folder Path. Next, we want to get the file names and store them in an array variable. Let's create an array of strings variable and name it Invoices Array. Now, let's drag an assign activity, and we'll name it Assign Invoices Array. We'll use this activity to get the file names from the folder and store them in Invoices Array. To do this, we'll enter Invoices Array in the To input field, and use the directory .getFilesVB.net method. This method is used to get all files in a specific folder. Now we want to loop through the elements of the array. So, how do we do this? By using the for each activity. This activity helps us to step through each element in the folder. We add the date to the name, log the result, and then change the name of the file in the folder. Let's start by adding a for each activity. The first thing to do when using a for each activity is changing the type argument from object to the specific one that we'll use. In our case, it's string. Next, we'll enter the name of our array variable in the input field and change the item to file name. Give it a descriptive name. Now, we'll create a new variable of type string. Let's call it New File Name. And let's add an assign activity. Let's give the activity a descriptive name. We'll use this activity to change the names of the elements in the array and store them. Let's add our new variable to it. To modify the values, we'll use the replace now and toString VB.net methods. This expression will add the date at the end of the file name string. The method is a basic conversion from one data type to a string. Let's use a log message activity to display the new file name in the output panel and give it a descriptive name. We'll enter the message. And finally, let's rename the file by using the Move File activity. This activity moves a file from a specified location to another using the From and To options. In our case, the destination path is the different file name. Let's give the activity a descriptive name. Next, we'll enter File Name to the Path input field and New File Name to the Destination input field. Before we run the workflow, let's see the files that we have. Okay, let's run the workflow. We can see the new file names with the current date. And here they are in the folder too. Great! In this demo, we've learned about the main advantage of the for each activity. It enables us to step through arrays. By stepping through arrays, we can iterate through the data and process each piece of information individually. For more practice on this topic, try to use the for each activity to step through arrays of integers and other types of collection. This concludes our lesson on the for each loop. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.